This is Excel Champ. In this video, we're going to learn how to quickly and easily create a line graph given our data here. If you would like to follow along using the same data set, this file is available for download using the link in the description down below. For this to work, you're going to want to make sure your data is set up in a similar way here, with one variable across a row and another variable down in a column, then your data in the matrix between the two. In this case, we have months across our top row and then items in our column. So what you want to do is highlight all of your data. We're going to want to leave off these totals because we're not going to want them included in our graph. Go up to Insert. Then you're going to want to select this option here for Insert Line or Area Chart. We're going to do a 2D line chart. If you click that, your chart will be automatically populated. You could grab it by the edge and move it wherever you want. Excel has some preset designs that you could choose from, and you're able to edit any one of these if there's anything you want to change in it. So we're going to hover across the top here and see a couple of these different options. A darker one, lighter one. Some of these are easier to read than others. If you click this down arrow, there's a couple more. Let's use this one with the shading. One thing we may also want to add is our titles for each one of our axes here. So if you want to do that, we could do Add Chart Element, Axis Titles, Primary Horizontal. We'll add the horizontal axis title. I like to go back into it. If we hit Primary Vertical, it'll give us that axis title here. Now if we want to enter a chart title, we could just click in this box and we could type whatever title we want, or if we click in the bar on the top, hit equals, and reference a cell in our file, it will automatically populate that as a title. And if you change whatever's in this cell, it'll change the title of your graph. Now say we have the months along the bottom here. Say we want to change this to items along this axis, which wouldn't necessarily make sense in this case, but if you wanted to do that, there's an option under Chart Design called Switch Row and Columns, and that will transform your data so that now you have items along the axis on the bottom. But we're going to leave it the way it was because this makes sense, because then we can see how many items trend over each month. So if you want to change our axis titles, go to the top bar, it equals. This is our, we're just going to call this quantity sold. Let's change this axis to month. Typically what I like to do is move my legend to the side because I think it's a little bit more appealing to the eye. So if we go back up to Add Chart Element, click on Legend, then we could hit right. You have the option to move it anywhere you want in the chart. We're going to move it to the right. Another thing I typically like to do is change the color of the background of the chart a little bit to make it a little bit easier to see. So all you have to do is click on the background. We're going to go up to Format, Shape Fill. I just pick a light gray to make that stand out a little bit from the rest of the graph. Also in Format, we could change any one of these to look any way we want. We could fill the background, we could outline it. I'm just going to leave it plain because I think that looks the best. Any one of our lines, we could change the. We're going to click on item 4 here, this yellow line, and if you right click, hit Format Data Series, you're going to have this box pop up on the right. We're going to click the Fill in Line bucket, and under Line, say we want to change this to blue. We could do that and it'll change that line to blue. Let's leave it as yellow because that stands out a little bit more amongst the other ones. If we want to increase how thick that line is, under Width, we could increase this And as we click the up arrow, you can see that line getting bigger. Something that comes in handy is the dash type. Say we want to make this a dotted line. We could do that. Also, you have the option to add an arrow. If we want to add an arrow to the end of this, to show which way this is trending, we could add that. Let's bring this width down a little bit. We can see our dotted line a little bit better. So that gives you an idea if you want to change one of your lines to stand out a little bit more than another. You also have the option to change the markers. Markers is any one of these points which we could see highlighted. If we want to make those stand out, make sure we click on that line, right click, format data series. Click the paint bucket here. Then we're going to go to marker. Marker fill options. We want to use a built-in one. We could change any one of these points. So we want it a circle. We can increase that size. We can see now we made each one of these points a big circle so they stand out. Going back into it, we can make these, we can increase the transparency. Oh, make sure you're a marker. Marker options, fill. Say solid fill, we could change the color. We could change the transparency. Just gives you some options to change how you want your line graph to look. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this content, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel.